guys, welcome to the Workbench. We are here with the lovely crowd that we all know and love. We've got ProfNCognito.
Hello, what's up?
All right, that's it? That's all?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Okay. That's cool. All right, we've got... Wait, Allie's here? Allie's here with his mic off. Okay, cool, I guess. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'm on my phone right now. Are you live streaming?
Of course. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a call in here today, our first call in.
First caller.
First caller, live from New Jersey, I think. New Jersey.
Long time listener.
Long time listener.
Caller.
Yeah.
No, I'm like 80 kilometers off of Florida right now.
Off of what?
Florida.
A foreigner? Wait, what?
He said, I think he's 80 kilometers off of Florida for some reason.
Oh, off of Florida?
Yeah.
Wait, are you in a plane? No.
Nope.
All right, okay, let's bypass him. We got Alyosha here. We've got Klara.
Hello.
Hello, Klara. How are you today?
I am awake and awake.
And not in school. Yay!
No, it's Friday.
We've got Rowan muted. Rowan, you gonna say something? We've got Rowan here, and Rowan is from the something. I don't know.
Indiana.
No, I meant your forum, your Discord.
Stormworks Maritime Hub.
Yeah, that's it. And of course, we got the always sleepy, always late, always here, Storm Trail.
Hold on. When was I? I'm late?
No,
How can
not
he be
really.
late if
Hold
he's
on.
always here?
Hold on. I'm still waking up. What?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we've got Captain missing right now. I don't know where he must be getting ready for work. Maybe there's like helicopters flying by like at high speeds. Very disturbing. Whose helicopter is that?
It's mine.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get into today's update. Yeah. Anybody feel like reading it besides me? I'm kind of moody about this. No?
I can
I'll read it. I always have a joyful voice.
Oh dear. Okay, well, we'll give Rowan a try. Rowan, give it a try.
Hold on, I gotta load it.
Okay.
You want me to read the whole announcement?
Yeah,
or,
just
the Steam page.
Just take a little chunk of it, and then we'll talk about if anything interesting said. All right.
Dear Stormworkers, this week we are releasing a new desalinator component along with the usual fixes and improvements in this minor update.
Okay.
Desalination is the process of removing salts and minerals from water. In seawater, the smallest molecules are the H2O water molecules, and marine desalinators work by pushing salt water through a very fine paper filter, which only the smallest molecules can fit through.
All right. Has everybody got that so far? What this is for? This new feature? Minor update?
Yes,
I get what it does.
The next line tells you exactly what it is.
All right.
This new Stormworks component converts seawater into fresh water.
Yep. All right.
What a very handy thing.
Yeah. Okay. Read on. It gets better, I think. Maybe.
This is just a small feature update as we return our focus back to bug fixes and improvements. We have been very active in releasing new features recently with the new Industrial Frontier, zombies, etc. However, players have continued to help us identify issues that need fixing, and we have a great list of stuff that we can improve in the coming weeks and months. We plan to continue making steady progress through working through any issues as well as regularly adding minor features.
Oh, okay. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. They didn't use the
Stuff.
word many this time, which is interesting. They didn't say many.
Yeah.
It's always many
Oh, well.
new features. Is that it? Are we done?
No.
Oh.
Progress here is going well, and we have a lot of fixes and improvements in production, many of which will hopefully have a big impact for many players. While development continues at the same pace, we are now giving more time to testing, so there is a longer lead-in time as we take care to make sure that updates are to a higher quality. These upcoming fixes are important, and we will go into more detail about our plans in a future announcement.
Okay, did you guys
Please
catch
see
that
the patch
line?
notes for full details on all things.
Did you catch that line? Giving more time to testing. Did you guys catch that line?
Yeah,
I don't
it's almost like
believe
they're
it.
admitting
Okay,
their
does
previous stuff
anybody-
had issues.
Does anybody here know a tester?
No.
A current tester. I mean, there used to be testers I knew, but the testers that I knew aren't testers anymore. So is
Nah, I
there
don't
is there
know
a
any
tester in the
current
audience? Is there any testers anywhere? I just want to speak to one.
Are they testing with actual players, or are they testing by just playing around with it more?
With the 4 people.
I think it's internally.
4 people in the office. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Hey Jackson, welcome. Yeah. Okay. So there are some bug fixes that I think Professor liked. Is there any other bug fixes that you guys like? Go ahead. Go through the list and see if there's anything you like.
Well, let's see. They repaired various train line issues. They did a fix where custom tanks without a fluid spawner correctly add their contents to the workbench inventory and vehicle despawn. I think that's a mission or like a non-creative thing. So I would not know because I don't play non-creative.
Yeah, a lot of fixes that would probably make survival a little more pleasable.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay. We do have, if I'm on my screen, where did you guys go? You're all gone.
You know what I want to know?
We're
what is a
all
monkey
out
brain
doing
typo?
stuff.
It was monarchy brain, and they fixed it to monkey brain. It was just
there's a
put
cool
it
helicopter.
correctly.
I thought his purpose was supposed to be monarchy.
All right.
It's monkey.
All right. So, I don't. Captain's here. Captain, say hi.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody?
Oh, he went through the floor. Sorry. Going to the floor again.
Where does it say monkey brain?
It used to say.
Okay, so
about
yeah,
the
I can't
map.
stand anywhere.
All right, can you move the helicopter here for a moment, please? Yeah, thank you. All right, so I'm going to go to the workbench for a moment and then make everything... Wait, too many vehicles in the zone. Okay, make everything worse, probably. But I put together this... I call it the anti-water. And I think Professor tried this on his stream. I don't know, Captain, did you do a video on this desalinator? Desalinator?
I have not got to it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got up. So.
All right, so...
That's it.
Look at this mess here. So I made several of these, and I saw some talk in the the official Discord. People were talking about it, and there's some various setups here. You have to apparently, I think, for it to start working properly, have to have a little water in the bottom tank. It can't just be completely empty.
That's weird.
I had trouble with that. Pumps seem to be slower than if you just let gravity pull it through through the system. Also, I think Professor tried this on his channel as well, adding like a to get rid of air thing on the bottom. It looks like it's not really needed if you look at the one here that I'm standing by. It's
I had
flashing.
a tiny bit of flow, but once adding the filter, it actually seemed like it was actually working what would be normal. But
yeah, for me it
yeah,
was,
this is definitely a bigger setup here.
It was adding water to the tank, a little bit of water. So if you look at these back ones back here, they're starting to flow now, and these were like empty, but they took longer to start, which is weird. Okay,
Look, this one just isn't moving at all.
Yeah, these aren't moving at all. So, I don't know. It's very odd. I feel like this is one of those features that they probably had sitting around because early
But it's losing water out of the top, but it's not.
Right.
There's no water to the bottom. So yeah, where's it going?
Spawning.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if there's any engine builders on here, but a long time ago they said that salt water would muck up your engines, right? If you use salt water to cool your engines. And I think this was probably a feature that they developed a long time ago to counter it, and they just never added it, and then they finally just, oh yeah, we have that feature laying around, let's add it in. But I can't really see why you would need this unless there's a future thing going on, but...
So,
yeah, I have some thoughts.
I actually have some cases where it would be useful.
Okay,
For,
go ahead, Rowan, and we'll hit Captain.
non-condensing with what?
I said, well, listen to you, Rowan, then Captain will want to speak next. Go ahead.
With non-condensing steam systems, meaning they don't condense the steam back into water, having a desalinator is useful. However, the flow rate on it is just atrocious.
Yeah, you'd have to have a lot of these to even make a cup of water, I think. Yeah.
Speaking of cup of water, is that something that I'll be adding to the game where we have to stay hydrated?
Survival aspects.
That was
Yeah.
what my thought was the there's been a lot of chatter on Reddit and everywhere else about people interested in survival mechanics, and we just got an arid biome where you figure there won't be a lot of fresh water. This would make sense to have some sort of desalination for drinking water, but you also like you were talking about with engines needing fresh water. There's a bunch of applications they could do where you need more fresh water, and so adding this in is a way to do that. Plus, if they make it so that you can sell salt, that would be another sort of industry thing. So there are a couple directions they could go with this.
I would greatly enjoy survival mechanics.
Just a little
We
bit.
can just get the first aid kit reskinned as an MRE, and then there's your food.
Nice.
Yeah, that would. Professor pointed that out, and they do that. They would do that because look at this. I'm going to put it up on the screen real quick. Someone pointed this out in the official. The fluid filter. The fluid filter only allows certain types of fluid across the valve. The valve can be configured to select which fluids may pass. And now let's look at the new component. The fluid filter only allows certain types.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the effort they put into this update. That's what I get so frustrated with Stormworks and the devs is there's always just not polished. It's never polished.
Yeah.
They addressed that in the update. They said they're going to spend more time polishing the releases.
They did say that,
Yeah.
but isn't there like 3 other ones that we've read that before in, I think?
Actions
They
speak
had
louder
that
than
for
words.
the laser sensor was a copy and paste from the radar.
And they always say we have a new testing thing in place and it's going to make things better. But I don't know any testers.
You're looking at them right now.
Oh, no, not a mirror. Not the mirror tester. Yeah. So that's frustrating for me. I mean, I love this game. I love the concepts, and it just frustrates me that, I mean, okay, for me, if I'm the dev, I know that Captain is doing career mode all the time. I would say, Captain, we need you to test this crap because you do a lot of career mode, and it would be useful for us to get your input because that's all you're really playing. And it's really helpful. I would grab Captain. Professor, oh, I see you do career mode. Oh, yeah, I'd grab you too. Let's grab you in here, and we're going to have features, and I think you guys would be really good testers because you guys play it all the time.
Yeah.
And
you do story mode, which would be helpful to have some sort of add-on where you can make scenarios, and kind of triggerable scenarios, like you open a door and a zombie spawns.
I miss the mission editor so much.
Yeah. I think using the community as a resource is definitely helpful. I think one of their fears is there have been a bunch of games where they have had success with having people in the community do it, and then they've had a nightmare fuel where it's just the quality of it. Or I think one of the fears they have too is you have somebody say, oh yeah, I'll be a tester, and then they're like, oh, I'm busy this week, oh sorry, I can't do it. Where that could completely screw up their workflow with if they they have to schedule patches and updates on a weekly basis, and they might know 4 months out ahead what they're doing. And if they get a really inconsistent period of their testers, they're screwed. Where if they have employees, you can kind of say, no, you need to test this, 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 and this. And then because it's your job, that's what you're going to do. So I can understand it both ways of where it could be kind of difficult.
However, I just did say pull Captain and Professor who play it all the time. See, that's
I agree.
Disclaimer that you guys would actually be useful.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And unlike me, you're relatively nice at giving feedback, so there's no reason for them to be scared of you guys. So that's what it frustrates me. Things like that frustrate me because.
Oh, I agree. There's plenty of frustration
because it's a great game. It's a great concept. It's just the polish never gets there, and it's been what 5 years almost 5 years, I think, and So that's the new feature today. This is a minor update. We don't know if there's any impact on a future feature that's going to make this even more required. But right now, there's not enough persistent use of an engine to say, oh, we need to protect our engines, or they'll get fouled up, so we need to make sure we're using, fresh water. There's nothing like that. What are you guys doing? You're very sad.
I think there's There's a mistake that they could make that I think they've been doing a reasonable job of not making. Is it's better to do an addition method where they add extra avenues that we as players can use instead of subtracting. And so what I mean by that is if they came out with this as a way to say, okay, we're going to add salt fouling back into the engines, they would screw up so many things on the workshop, they would just annoy everybody. Where by adding features and saying, hey, we're going to add desalination, and hey, now you have a survival mechanic. And I think one of the most important things they can do is put things behind checkboxes where they say, oh, you don't like survival? Don't check the box. Oh, you want survival elements? Check the box, and now you need to be able to drink fresh water. That's the smart way that they hopefully will do this.
Yeah,
And it may come to be that enough people have it checked for a long enough time, they just make it default, which is what they did with the easy mode versus advanced mode.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah, great.
One thing I hope they never do, I hate survival games that make you eat every 15 minutes. I hate that. Like,
yeah, it can be excessive.
I just
certainly,
want
and
to
that's
eat 3 times a day during game time would be okay, but they do it like you're like, oh my gosh, I walked over here, I gotta eat some more.
Yeah.
I gotta try.
I've eaten one meal a day for like 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
So I would not survive.
There was a cool game. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Is it? Oh, I think it's Valheim. I think Valheim has kind of a cool mechanic. Like, it won't kill you if you don't eat, but all your stats go down. Like, your health is really low.
Yeah, you end up with like just a base health line.
Yeah, but it doesn't kill you. And I'm like, okay, that I can get away with not eating for a while, and I think that's a good feature. So yeah, gosh, I don't know what else to say about this. Nothing really in the announcement that makes me excited for the future. I mean, there's not like a tease of any sort. Like, coming up next week, we're going to talk about a major update or what we're working on or roadmap or anything like that. So, yeah, this is kind of a quiet update, I guess, sort of, right? You guys got anything?
I have something that's similarly related.
Ooh, do tell.
Going through all of the dev stuff to mod it to actually what would be cool. It was a lot easier than I had expected. It was a very, very simple thing to just fix all of the little tiny problems that they had. And since they actually understand their programs better than I do, they could make water only visible for like 1 meter very, very easily. I wrote a pseudocode for it. I just don't have the variable names. But it would be so easy to fix these problems they have. It took me 3 days to figure out their code to reverse engineer it, and then it took me like 15 minutes to actually just make the changes.
What about where they changed the water to be able to see underwater better? Would you counter that completely though if you did that?
No, you wouldn't at all, because they have separate shaders for when you're above water and underwater.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, Lolly, welcome. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this thing because it's not needed. So there you go.
The way they do the shaders for the water is there's a variable name that they overwrite when you have ocean reflections turned on, but when you don't, it just has the kind of like pseudo reflections. And then after that, they mix the reflected color with the refracted color, which is the like looking through the water, and then they mix that with the fog color. So when you turn the fog way up, it makes it look more like fog, depending on their Fresnel lens system.
Okay, and now I thought that people. What is that? Is that a flying boat?
Yes.
That's just weird. I
not
thought
mine,
that a lot of things were like shown in the files, but they were still hard coded, so you couldn't overwrite what was being loaded. Still, did that not happen to you, Rowan? Wait, did Rowan go away? No, Rowan's still here. Rowan?
Rowan's not moving. So
Did he die?
He landed a plane and disappeared.
Oh, he might have lost his connection.
no, Rowan's moving. Rowan's moving here.
Sorry, my RA came in.
Oh.
Just checking my smoke detector.
Okay, so
I'm not surprised to do that. I'm kind of happy they do this.
So Rowan, the question was, I noticed before I don't know if it's still this way, but in the old days you couldn't overwrite, even though the variables were in files, you couldn't overwrite what the game was loading because it was still hard-coded, even though it was like in the files. Did you run into that at all?
So it depends on what you're trying to edit.
Okay.
I can edit any of the shaders, and all I have to do is restart my game for them to take effect.
Okay. Well,
and I can edit any of the particle effects, and all I have to do is reload my game, and it takes effect. So the exhaust, for example, if I want the exhaust from an engine to be purple, all I have to do is change the RGB value, then reload my game, and it will be purple.
Rowan.
And I can do some pretty cool things with the particle effects. So you know how underwater explosions just create a big white cloud, right?
Yeah.
I made it so it creates like a big column of water poof when it's exploding underwater.
Really?
Which looks much better. Yeah.
You got a screenshot of that or something?
Yeah, I do. Here, I'll let me see. Where do you want me to send it? Just DM it to you?
You could just put in general workbench right there, if you want. So Rowan Jackson asked if you're going to do the NSO, but I think you're thinking of Tony Jackson. Tony does the NSO, and we'll be hearing from Tony in a couple weeks. He's missing in action, doing some school stuff or something. But supposedly they are talking about the NSO, and they've been planning stuff, and they've got tools, and so they said they're going to continue to do some stuff, but I don't know exactly what they're going to do with the NSO. So we shall see. Wow, that car's dead. Nice crash. Hoot.
I sent the picture in live voice.
Oh, live voice. Okay.
The call.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
Oh.
I've seen
Okay.
mentions of wave magnitude mentioned in the files. I've done a little bit of searching on it. I don't know where the actual wave magnitude variable is, but I've seen it.
The waves are actually defined in the shaders. So if you go to the shaders file,
Like the wave size?
I think so. Let me see. I think it's ocean_common. Yeah, get wave height scale from world. So it doesn't have any input, so this has to be the function that determines what your waves look like. And it's a very simple
That
one.
is
It
right.
uses,
That is
like,
right.
sine waves and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
So here,
Wave height scale was what I used, and it was in the world file.
all right.
Interesting.
So here's the screenshot that Rowan sent me. I'm gonna pop that on the screen. So Rowan, the water splash is the white on the side. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's from the underwater explosion, and I have the opaque water turned on in that picture as well. And I modified the smoke exhaust so it's thicker and it lasts longer.
Can you do the opacity?
I cannot. So I can technically control how opaque the water is. However, because the way Stormworks water works, when I make the water even a little bit see-through, it makes it so you can see through a little bit a very long distance. So it just mixes the opaque color with the see-through color. It doesn't actually change how far you can see.
Oh, okay. How about particle effects? Like, can you make them clear, like the smoke? Can you make them more?
I cannot change the opacity of particle effects. I
Yeah.
can only change the color.
Only the color.
As far as I
Okay.
know, only the color.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I made the here. I'll put another picture in there. I made the muzzle blasts more realistic, so they actually look like you're firing a big cannon.
More real. Oh yes, yes, yes. I wanted to do a video on that because it looked amazing. I saw you doing it live. Let me put that up on the screen real quick. And what this picture's showing is he's got his battleship or whatever this is, destroyer battleship. What is it? Cruiser battleship?
It's a big cruiser.
It's a big cruiser.
steam
Okay.
battleship or
And so
something.
when he fires the cannons, now I don't. What do they do by default? Do you get smoke by default?
By default, they have a little thing that makes them into fire, so it creates like a fire effect. So I can't have that turned on, or else I can't change the color. But it only lasts for 1 second, and they don't have the muzzle smoke actually go out from the barrel. It's only in a radial direction.
Oh, so you can't
It's
do
not actually
both,
forward
right? You
smoke.
can't do fire and the smoke at the same time.
I can't do fire and smoke,
Okay.
or else the entire thing would just be fire that lasts for like 10 seconds.
Oh,
Very
okay.
strange.
So yeah, so what this does, yeah, he fires and then the big smoke burst comes out the cannons, and it looks
So
really
what's
nice.
What's funny is that when I was doing this, we noticed that when you have cannons that are mirrored, the smoke will go the wrong direction. And I think that's why the devs decided to do the really strange muzzle blast they have right now that doesn't travel forwards at all. Because if your gun is mirrored, it just will look the same. They don't have to fix any bug at all. They just have to make it
okay,
so
that
they
makes
don't
sense.
have to fix the bug. Right?
Rowan, you're sounding kind of like Endo right now. I don't appreciate that.
No, that's exactly what happened, though. I kind of disappointed they did that.
Okay. Oh, by the way, here is who's in this green suit. Is that Captain or Professor?
Yep.
So Professor has the new colored swimsuit on. He'll be walking the runway here, showing off his swimsuit. Go walk that runway. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see. Oh yeah. Yep. What a model. And so yeah, Victoria's Secret swimsuit here. So,
2022 edition.
2022 edition. So you can now color them. So that's kind of a cool feature. Now
No complaints. That is.
Professor was saying, and I think all of you in the audience can agree, would have been nice to be able to color like the captains and the navies and all those other kind of suits, like this one that's in front of me here. I guess that's Rowan, right?
The fire suit, the deep dive suit.
Yeah, like
They could.
I want to be able to color all
for
outfits.
future minor updates.
I know, but come on, that's a good minor update. I mean, some people get all upset and like, oh, they added a suit. Oh my god, it didn't take them that long. So I don't get upset when they add a suit or they add like a little feature like this on a minor update because it didn't take them a long time. So
Yeah, I
Did you get anything?
Yeah, I try to put it in first person perspective. You know, like I'll make a bunch of videos, and if I, sometimes you think, oh, I'll just kind of, drop this thing instead if you can make it some content. And so I think, instead of them coming up to a week where they have no content released, they might say, we could drop all 5 of these outfits, but, then we'll have nothing for next week because we're working on this long-term update. They're probably like, we'll drop this week, this week, and it's kind of filler and split it out, make it into filler instead of dropping them all at once, which wouldn't surprise me if they're doing that.
I have no complaints with that. That's just doing it in
I
a smart
grabbed
way.
Yeah, I agree.
my new color is green. Everybody, call me Professor Endo. Woo!
It looks good on you.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I stole it. What you call it? Okay, so it's been like I think it's been about a month. So, Captain, right off, have you had some experiences in the new career mode that you would like to see tweaked or added to since you've been playing it so long for a month now with the arid and all that stuff? Anything input wise you'd like to put out there?
Yeah, I still think that the main thing they could do is kind of tighten up the logistics workflow with Professor was talking about, there have been some add-ons for adding things like essentially putting the dump points where they should be. Currently you have to pretty much, you can't bottom dump trains like you should. So I would like to see them kind of do a pass on this industrial update where you should be able to truck the minerals to wherever you want. You should be able to bring them with a train and dump them with the train. Currently, like I made a road railer where you have to bring trailers on the train to then hook to a truck to move it like 20 feet. Because the way they designed the dump point for your metals, you have to take it off the train to dump it where it should be a bottom dump, kind of like coal up at Komodo. That would be something they should do.
So none of the train yards have bottom dumpers?
No.
Oh, okay.
And you got the gold dirt washer too. It just dumps the gold right on the ground without even. So you gotta have an extra vehicle sitting there before you even go to the other side to dump it. And I think you gotta have something like 30 blocks high to be able even to dump on top. There's nowhere on the ground to dump the dirt as well.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. I was playing with Frantic. We're just doing some mining video, whatever. So, do you know when it dumps out the dumps out the gold bricks or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you dump those loose into a bucket or do you dump them into like a mineral gatherer thing?
Hopper.
Yeah, hopper. Is that what you dump them into?
Yeah, the hopper will hold all of it. It will hold ingots. It will hold refined ingots, different ores. You can.
It's a universal bucket at this point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Blue, welcome.
And you can click on it in the workbench and set restrictions, like you don't want it to hold this or that. But I would, I just leave it on, hold everything.
Wow, there's bombs falling. Okay, cool.
Somewhat accurate.
Professor, you've had some interesting career build. I like the desert thingamabob you built. So what's been going on with your career mode? Can you tell us?
Just I don't know. There's a lot going on. It's just still, finally gotten fuel kind of maintained. So that was taking up quite a bit of it, and I think everybody's kind of dealing with that still, just trying to make sure they have enough fuel to even continue their series along. So, and I had to restart, and I think I'm screwed. I think my refinery's so far away, I'm never going to have a chance to even get there and get it. So we'll see. But I've got enough to kind of do along, some things right now. I just got a VTOL set up so I can kind of go and explore the map a little bit and do some island hopping, maybe get some research points to things going. But yeah, just slowly moving along. Love to get to mining. That'd be great. That's a little further along, I think, but we'll get there.
So have you both been doing land-based missions more so than sea-based?
I think so. It feels more natural to drive around in this desert biome. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's more open and there's more space to drive around, but I've never really cared about land vehicles, but now it feels more important somehow.
Ah, okay. Whose plane is this that's flying around? Who built that plane?
I think that's Rowan.
Is that your plane, Rowan?
He's silent, so he's
silent.
He must be
Yeah, to kind of
sneaky.
tag on a professor's comment there, this definitely seems like a land update, the arid biome. And one of the things I noticed is if you look at how wide the roads are, they're like a 4-lane highway.
Mm-hmm.
So the
roads
roads
aren't, but the roads are.
Yeah, exactly. The roads on Sawyer were very narrow, so it made it hard, especially for trucks, to be able to go fast. You'd end up off-road, and then you'd hit a bump, and then you'd crash. Where now, with this nice flat biome with really nice wide roads, you can, like I'll be driving a truck, and it will seem like I'm doing 30 miles an hour, and I'm doing almost 80, towing a heavy vehicle. And so it really makes it so that it's a much more friendly environment to be working with some land vehicles.
A few cactus or, some dry scrub across the landscape wouldn't hurt, though, for some sort of, visual, because sometimes it's just hard to see. There's it's no perspective whatsoever with the solid sand. Yeah. It's so hard, and all of a sudden you're off a sand dune, and you've screwed up. And so to have something like that, just little pieces would be nice. Just a little update.
Okay, yeah, cactus would be nice, especially since I think Frantic pointed out the other day that cactus is the icon for that DLC. If you have
for the desert, yeah.
All right, so I'm putting up a poll real quick because I am curious. We were talking about native survival mechanics in the game. Is that something you'd like to see? Now, I don't want Deltars to come back and say you can do it with an add-on. I hate that. I hate that response.
Yeah, I do too.
We don't want... I really don't want text-based inputs on everything in the game, which is what add-ons do, right? Eat, /drink. No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want a bottle. I want to put the little bottle in the thingamabob and let the water drain into it, So is that something you guys would be interested? Let us know in the poll.
Perfect thing to do for a DLC.
It would be.
Always looking for ways to make more.
Well, I like how you said you talk about how Valheim does it. Maybe your health bar would just go down to a certain point and then just stop.
Yeah.
So if you did fall off a cliff, you die quicker, or you have a more chance of dying if you fall off a shorter distance. But don't completely kill us because we don't eat. But
I just like them expanding the scope of the game. That's kind of why I like this whole DLC, is because it really expands the world and things you can do. Adding a whole survival mechanism just further increases that, and I think that's just the key to this game being successful. Is having
I wouldn't be completely opposed to it.
Yeah,
but to be able to turn it off as well, just make it a checkbox for that option.
Yes. Okay, question for you.
90 players just playing creative.
You career guys, Professor Captain.
Yes.
I have a question for you that I don't know the answer to. So maybe you do. When you are playing career mode and you have a vehicle and you bring it into the workshop or the workbench and then you spawn it again, does it reset the vehicle, or is it persistent on the last, like its fuel and all that stuff? Or
it
resets.
Depends.
It resets.
It completely resets all your fuel and everything. It sucks the fuel back into the bench, and then it respawns it into the vehicle. All your damage is gone. So
You will lose the fuel that's in your pipes. That's not returnable unless you physically pump it back out into your own pumps.
Damage is reset as well, right?
Damage is reset, yeah.
All right, so...
And if you used equipment's reset.
Batteries are recharged instantly.
Yep.
Okay, so what we would like, I'm guessing, I don't know if this is true, but we would like to eat, drink, and maybe vehicles, like our damage is persistent unless we pay to get it fixed or we do stuff. Would that be cool? Would that be cool? So that, like, you know, like your engine actually does get crappy, and if there was some kind of mechanic where you could, like, mechanic.
I'll take some charge points across the world. Some electric charge points.
Yeah, but like
I think they took those off.
So like there's a game, or not a game. There is a add-on for the old Microsoft Flight Simulator by A2A Simulations. You know those guys?
Yes.
They do a B-17, and the B-17 has engines, and as time goes on, the spark plugs start to get fouled up. It needs to be replaced and fixed and stuff like that. And so the B-17 is actually like something you care about, because as it gets older, you need to replace things and fix things. And I don't know, is that
so? You're just gonna say parts falling apart over time? Is that what,
would that be cool? So like your engine performance starts to suck, you know?
Yeah,
and then you gotta climb on the wing and repair the engine.
I can identify one problem with that. And that it would add a lot of stuff that the game is calculating all the time.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's a lot of parts to
Yeah,
how many blocks are used? Each part would, be. At what point does each part get damaged?
Yeah, I think I can see that as being an issue. My whole thing is I think if you bring it into a workbench, it should wipe it and give you a fresh vehicle. I think that's a good thing. Like I've done a couple things in career where I've left vehicles purposefully out into the world, and so that makes sense of you have to worry about your fuel. I would like to see things like oil for engines, and again, everything should be behind a checkbox and a slider. So if you don't like it, shut it off. And then if you want it, turn it on, and then so after, like if you leave, say, your ship out in the world for like 10 game hours, you might need to put some oil in it or replace.
I wouldn't mind. Oil would be neat to see on the modular engines. That'd be kind of a neat little.
One random thing that I think would be neat.
Then you gotta have transmission fluid as well.
Actual like equipment stores. Like you could go and say like your like, or your ambulance or whatever is empty on med kits. Literally, you can go drive past an area where there's basically a store. You go and grab whatever you want. As soon as you walk outside, it charges you.
That'd be cool.
That would be such a cool like world filling thing.
I have an optimization.
Make use of the gas stations, just have the gas station stock with some things.
Have a gas station, Martin. You just go in and
go in and grab what you want off the shelf. Walk out. It charges you. You can go back in, grab some more, come back out, and keep doing what you need.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that'd be cool.
Jackson's not down with persistent damage either, right? So you guys aren't down with persistent damage that kind of.
No, I think that's just going to make things too frustrating.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah. Something they should do is. You know how you have all these pipe systems, and the way they calculate their pipe systems is that they have one pipe, and it has a pipe next to it, and a pipe next to it. And the pipe next to it has this pressure, and the pipe on the other side has this pressure, and they both have however much volume. And then it calculates the flow and everything like that, and how much it leaks based on how much it's damaged. It would be better if they ignored the pipes leaking depending on how much they're damaged, because it's not very useful. And then instead just calculated the statistics for every single pipe system when you spawned it. That way they didn't have to calculate as much in the actual game.
Okay, give me that in a bullet points, because I don't understand what you're saying. Can you say that simple?
It would be better if they simplified pipe systems by calculating all the things they need as you spawn the vehicle, rather than calculating everything in the pipe system live.
Because right now, every individual pipe piece is calculated separately?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Okay, here's something that kind of makes me crazy. There's not a lot of visual indicators on what something is doing. So, like, what you're talking about, a pipe system, like, if it's damaged, shouldn't there be, like, water squirting out of the pipe or something, or fluid, or
that
fuel?
Would be cool.
Something like that.
That would be a particle effect they would use.
That'd be easy because they already have everything built in.
That's a cool little plane. Little blue one.
Just need to put that in.
It would be cool if they had particle effects for all damage.
Yeah, I mean, just some indicators like that. That was messing my brain up with this new feature that they just added, the clear water thing, is because engines never really show that they're getting fouled up, right? They don't do anything. They don't make different noises or anything like that.
You have to really know your engine well to know whether.
Is that yours, Professors? That's pretty cool looking. If that's yours.
Yeah, that's mine.
That's neat.
You don't have to have med kits in there, do you? Hey, pick me up. They're gonna kill me.
Jason asks, Endo, are you a dev for Stormworks? No, I'm a thorn for the devs for Stormworks. No dev. No, just a thorn. I just kind of poke them. Okay. Oh, also, I was thinking about doing a video on it. Like, I did the other day. I did the what was it? Do you want NPC crew? So did you guys think about that? I've gotten a lot of people say, oh, they'd like some like medics, NPC medics and stuff like that. Is there something that you guys came to mind with that?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think that's.
I wouldn't be opposed. That mostly goes back to like my initial reasoning for why they were going to do the air and land, though, is something within their capability, something that they know how to do.
Yeah. I
don't know if that has not been something that definitely has not been something they've demonstrated to do very well. Is
neato. Complex
AI. The most they have are ships that go around and shoot at you, but
yeah.
It's not.
That was smart.
What do you call this, Professor? What is it called?
I don't know. I hadn't got any names for it yet.
Oh, so. Lightning McQueen just died. What the? Whoa. Oh well.
Zoom. Wow.
Chacow. Was it Chacow? Chapow? Chacow?
Ka-chow.
Cha-chow. Okay.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Okay.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Yeah. So let's see. What other things have I been thinking about? I don't know. So what is something that you guys really would like as a feature? Like, just go one by one. Professor, what is really a feature that you would like to see?
Oh, pass.
Pass. Not even a component or something you wish I had this component?
You gotta give me a second to at least think.
All right.
Yeah, I need a thinking second too.
Storm Trail, you're random. Go random. Go Storm.
Graphics. That's all I gotta say.
You keep saying that. You want a graphics update. You want rain on the windshields. You want.
Oh, I want wider ankles, stronger ankles.
Stronger.
Yeah, I keep breaking them every time I jump off.
No, they're so thin they break all the time.
Yeah, I want some cankles.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of an announcement.
Uh-oh.
Modded waves are back.
Oh God.
Let's go.
I've got them working again.
All right.
It is a heck of a lot more complicated than it was last time, though.
Okay. Okay, how about... What the heck is that?
I feel like there's a server dying.
No, it's okay.
It was having an issue, but for a sec, but it's good. That's my Chronoplan.
Is that noise I hear?
No, I don't know what it is.
Or is that the horn over here? On this.
It must be the horn over there. The game took a little bit of a dump for a second, but
that sounds like a toy boat.
I think that ship is dragging us down a little bit. Once it gets away from dock.
I'm saying I got frames, but not physics.
Oh, it's once it got away from dock, we're all doing better, I think.
Okay, so all right. So let's see what the chat said on the native survival. So yeah, 18 votes. People said mostly they like some survival mechanics.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, that's cool.
I think if you can put it behind a checkbox and you have a slider, why not?
Exactly. And they've done a pretty good job of doing that. A lot of things are behind a checkbox. I mean, I can pull up P here, and we can see sea monsters, player damage, NPC damage. Lightning is now on here, which is pretty new, actually. Engine overheating, infinite ammo, third person, no clip, teleport, fast travel. Yeah. Allow respawning. Does anyone ever uncheck that one? I wonder.
Yes. For the World War I event, it is useful because people have... So in the first World War I event, people would respawn and then spawn in suicide boats and then go bombing suicide boats.
Okay.
No more of that.
So for scenarios, that's really useful. You only want one life, right?
Once you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah, I do that for my Warzone episodes. Is
maybe
I
a spectate though? Once you're dead, to be able to spectate other players.
That would be nice.
Oh, you know what? A new camera.
So you're not
system
stuck in
would
like
be really
floppy
nice.
mode.
New camera would be
exactly
nice.
what I would want. I just want a helmet-mounted HUD.
That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so on that note,
that's a good one.
I think
like
what
that
might
idea.
be a better solution than the helmet-mounted HUD, which would...
Are we writing Lua for the HUD
would be
as well?
to write notes. So what I'm saying is we should be able to write Lua for the actual player's screen. That would be your mounted HUD.
That would be awesome. And additionally to that, I have mouse aim guns now because they broke pivots in multiplayer. Well, they optimized them by making them round to the nearest whatever angle. But when you zoom in, it looks like you're shuttering left and right because it's locking to the nearest angle, which is bad. But I use mouse aim guns now because it doesn't do that with your camera. But I don't have any reticles anymore. So you just use the little circle for mouse aim. If we could make our own player screen outputs for whatever seat you're in, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Now, I think, you just treat the player's view as a monitor, basically.
Yeah.
And just lure it up.
I thought of mine. I would like head tracking.
Head tracking?
That would be cool. I think we could do that.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like in a lot of games, you have to use your mouse to move your head of your character. Mm-hmm. So like if I want to look while I'm flying, you can buy head tracker units where as you turn your head, it will turn your character's head. So especially for like flight sims, that's really helpful because you can.
Yeah, what was that one called?
Track IR.
Track IR. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, because I have Track IR. I'd love to be able to use it in this for flying because like. Naturally, you want to look down at your throttle when you move it. You want to look out the left window as you make a left turn, and so you can keep your hands on the keyboard while you're doing that. You don't have to like move your mouse around. So
look at you guys flying around. Nice builds. Oh, well, you got hit. Wait, you didn't?
Did I get hit?
Yeah, he nailed you.
He did hit me.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he got me right.
And then Professor just hit the top of the ship.
All right.
Crashed.
He's asking for it now. So.
You're gonna kill a little toy battleship?
He's asking for it now.
Jackson is asking Rowan, when is the next SMH video?
So there's another battle tomorrow. It's going to be a plane battle, and there's going to be a plane versus ship battle.
Do you guys record them, or do you just play them?
Pretty cool. We don't record them, because usually I'm hosting, and it drags people's games down if I record and host.
I see.
But I might not be hosting tomorrow, so we'll see.
I see. Okay, there you go. So you need to head over to the SMH? Yeah.
SMH. It's like shaking my head.
Shaking my head. Or
shaking my head.
Yeah, their Discord. I think it's linked below. I don't know if it is. I forget to link things a lot. You have to remind me, guys, when I do that. All right. So we got Track IR, basically. We've got on-screen HUDs or a camera. What is it? Helmet HUD.
Helmet mounted.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did we have from Storm Trail? Particle effects. Who are we missing here? Rowan?
Me.
Oh, I have another feature request too.
A couple of things I could have them change or add.
Okay.
To start, it would be nice if they increase the accuracy of all the guns, decrease the amount that gravity affects them, because gravity is set to 30 meters per second squared, which is almost 3 times real gravity. Then it'd be cool if they did some depth mapping on stuff in Stormworks, which would be nice just for like more detail. And then it would be nice if they remade the Stormworks character model because it has no eyes. You can't customize anything else besides like skin color, hair, whatnot.
You want a model rework,
and as soon as you put on a hat, it deletes the back of your hair.
This is
makes
true.
you look like you're bald.
Okay. All right. So model rework. Interesting that we have a killer from a distance that's warning us to move. Nice. Klara.
And it'd be cool if they could add some bolt action rifles.
Bolt action
I
rifles.
would like...
All right. Here we go, Captain. Let's hear Captain.
We're going to need shotguns and...
I would like a hydraulics pass. So hydraulic actuators, hydraulic piping. I would like turbos. I would like the ability to be able to take one of the impeller pumps but run it backwards by putting a liquid through it. It gives you torque so that you can do hydrostatic drives and that you can take an impeller pump and essentially make it into a motor. You know, there's just so many things you could do if you could use fluids to actually create torque.
I would like a steam rework, because steam is treated like a liquid. So, for turbines, for example, the faster you move your liquid, the more the turbine spins, like a hydraulic motor, which is not how turbines really work. Turbines use the expansion of steam more than they use the actual flow of steam.
Okay. Have you submitted that as a feature?
No, there's no way they're going to do that. The amount of work that would be required for that would be immense.
Well, then why are you asking for it? Ask for something realistic, damn it.
At this point, I want to make my own new game, but I don't like programming stuff.
Wow. Okay. Well, that kind of shuts you out, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So did we get everybody? Klara, did you ask for? Oh yeah, you did. You did ask for future.
I did, but another thing I would say that goes along with it is the ability to save player models, like actual like outfits and stuff.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, we have the wardrobe. Might as well go in there and give us several slots that are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you guys are onto the models and the outfits now again. Okay.
It would be nice if you could
flying.
place a block on a ship to change your outfit. Like a literal wardrobe block.
A wardrobe block, yeah, that would
be cool, yeah.
Yeah.
A decorations pass would be nice too, like kind of almost like an infinite closet where you can have a bunch of outfits in there, and all you do is click in it, and it puts you in a menu, so you can choose that stuff. You know, more decoration, more things like, you know, having toilets in there, so you don't have to like build them out of blocks. You can actually just kind of drop one in.
All right, you want to?
I don't see them adding toilets.
You guys want to hear my stupid feature? Mine is because I'm a building wuss. Okay, so here is. Don't shoot me, please, Rowan. My feature is because I don't enjoy building for career mode. I don't enjoy it. I hate it because I just want to do World War II stuff, and I don't want to build like a boat to go rescue people or a desert thing. So what I would like, and my feature request, would be if things were tagged better on the workshop. So like, you know, an excavator, I can never say that word, or a tractor.
Excavator.
Yeah, thank you. Were tagged properly for like, you know, I don't know what the actual category they fit into. Where they fit into like
construction or farming.
Construction.
Equipment.
Okay, thank you. Construction.
Yeah.
So those are tagged as construction. You know, cargo planes, you know, tagged as a cargo plane properly. And what it would do is I could go to a building store, hangar, whatever, and I could browse the workshop and purchase for career mode what I wanted to buy for my, thank you, career mode. So it'd basically be an in-game store. Instead of like downloading from the workshop, I would be purchasing off the workshop, you know. So yeah, nobody likes my idea. Everyone hates my idea.
I like your idea.
Yeah, it's good. You know, any sort of UI improvement's always desirable.
It's just because I don't enjoy building on the career mode, you know. Like, and I would like to do like some mining, and I don't want to build a mining thing. I'd like to go to a store in the game and buy it. And that's
yeah.
I think it's really they need to improve the vehicle browser in the game.
Yeah.
So that you can actually, instead of just having to search for the name of the vehicle, you can go and look down all the ones labeled boats.
That's a cool helicopter too. Is that Professor again?
Yep.
That's nice build. Do you release these on the workshop?
Sometimes.
Oh.
Sometimes I'm stingy and I like to keep them for myself.
Okay, Mr. Selfish. That's a cool one. It's a cool looking thing.
This one might be on the workshop though. I think this one's up there.
Okay. All right. So I don't know, guys. It seems pretty quiet today. We're not getting a lot of action. We're not killing zombies. Actually, who's disappointed they didn't update the zombies? I am.
Yeah.
I really wanted the zombies to do damage to a vehicle.
They'll save it for next year.
Oh dear God! Really? What is that? There's something firing from across the water. From far. What is that? I see tracers.
I need payback on that ship.
What? This ship didn't do anything to you.
I was shot out. I was shot out of the sky.
What are the missiles that I see flying across? Is that Klara flying missiles across?
No, that's not me. I'm here.
Oh. Okay.
Are there missiles?
I saw a missile just fly by.
Yet.
Is that a plane? It looks like
there
a missile.
Will be one in a second.
Oh yeah, I see them too.
What is that? A plane? Is that what that is on fire? Oh, it is a. Oh, there went a. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's scary. Something just flew by my head.
I've been hit.
That's payback for earlier.
Okay.
Luckily, it was not significant.
So that's interesting, Captain. Your vehicle looks like it's on fire. It looked like a missile.
I popped a missile off. I don't know. Maybe it's
your butt.
Maybe it's a graphical issue.
Your butt's on fire, or it looks like.
Oh, it's afterburners.
Ah, okay.
I have the afterburners on. I went by at like 400 knots.
Oh, that ship is sinking. That's a bummer.
Oh, I'm not. I'm perfectly fine. There's no water in here.
All right, so let's keep asking questions since we want to make it to like at least 1 hour. Do any of you play any other, or have you tried any other building games like Space Engineers, Brick Rigs?
It's not the same.
Yeah,
Stormworks
not
has
for a long
really
time.
good vehicle building system. Compared to other games, it's
I'm a prior scrap mechanic player, but there's more technical stuff you can do with this game, and that's why I've kind of slid on over to this side.
You abandon it. Okay. So Space.
Oh, you know what? Something we're all forgetting.
What's
flat lighting. We need flat lighting in the workbenches.
I gave up on that. I requested that as a feature like 3 years ago, and they closed it, and I just gave up.
They closed it?
They always close my bugs. I mean, some of my bugs are kind of dumb, but they close that one too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I would just like to say that this ship survived that missile.
Well, sort of. It looked like you're running low in the water.
So
so
a little bit about lag.
Space Engineers, you have no interest in that game, right?
I used to play a ton of Space Engineers. I put it away once I got this. This just has such a better building mechanic. I like that video you did on that other space game.
Starship Evo,
you know, I don't like its I don't like the way that you build things kind of live. I prefer the workbench method.
Yeah,
that
was with me too. Like I would really like to like that game, but then when I come from Stormworks, everything makes sense in Stormworks. At least to me, it makes sense how it's laid out. It makes sense that I go into an editor and that I'm able to build, and that all my tools are on the top, and I can click my tools.
Are you talking about from difference between scrap mechanic and
I
this?
was talking about Starship Evo. But I mean,
because you build the same way in scrap mechanic. You build literally right there live in the game. You just apply a little lift and pull your vehicle out and start building on it.
Yeah, it's just.
But you can lose blocks throughout the game. Like the bots and stuff will destroy things off your vehicle, and if it's a key part, then you're done.
Yeah. See, for me, Stormworks gets so many things right with the builder and the editing that whenever I try to play a different game and say, oh well, maybe I should give Space Engineers a chance, I get into it. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't feel like learning this. I don't feel like taking time to learn this, and I just. Turn it off. And Starship Evo is very cool. It has some cool features. You know, the idea that you can stretch wedges, stretch blocks.
Yeah, that's important.
And it also has metallic paints, right? You can do metallic metals and stuff like that. Windows. Did you see that it has window blocks, which Deltars blew off in the Q&A a couple of times ago, where he said it's not a Stormworks feature to have glass blocks. I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah, I think they're terrified of doing anything that will change like the engine or anything like that with the game. I think that's, you know, but like Thale's window blocks are perfect or great, you know, and I think all they need to do is reach out to him and be like, listen, we love your windows for the game. Please, you know, add these windows in and we'll give you some money, you know, and that's all it would take. And you know, I think if they open up mod support, you know, let the community go wild with mods. And that was something with Kerbal, is every time they updated the game, they broke everybody's mods and people get annoyed, but they didn't get annoyed at the devs because they said, oh, well, you know, I'm using somebody else's mod. I kind of expect it to break. And then in a couple weeks, you know, the mod developers would fix it. And if mod developers quit the game, other people would take over. And so it kind of takes some of the stress off them, and it lets us add whatever we want.
Rowan, did your ship just fire a missile?
No, it fired main guns.
Oh, what's the missile that just went straight in the air? Where'd that come from?
That was off me. I got a little bit of lag, so they're kind of shooting.
It looked like it went into Rowan's ship and like took off out of it. So
I'm surprised.
Interesting that you should say that. I think I don't remember how many videos back it was, but I talked to Thales right when that window mod was out. And I said, Thales, if the devs took your work and threw it in the game, would you have a problem with it? He said, no. I said, can I tell him, please take it? He said, yeah. So I said, in the video, I said, devs, Thales has done the work. Put it in the game. Thales doesn't care. You know? You want to make him sign something? Make him sign something. But this is something that would be really a great add-on. And if you want to put a checkbox that says hide advanced windows or something in the game, then do that. You don't, I know you don't want to overwhelm new players, but you can hide things if you need to, But
that's what also Classic Career is good for too. You have to unlock things slowly. So then do that as well. Give us some basic windows, then have another set of extra windows, the pyramids and things like that. So you're slowly introduced into them.
That's why I liked the unlock system, where you would not be able to have everything right at once. You'd have to unlock it. I don't know if they still do that.
Oh, there's another ship out there. Huh.
I'm always a fan of keeping, having all the parts, but again, it's an option, and you should have as many options as possible. You want to play, the classic career where you have to unlock, you have that option. If you want all the parts, you have that option. So when they say something like that, that's like, oh, we don't want to overwhelm new players, I think it's an excuse. It's at the end of the day, well, if, the overwhelmed players can click on classic, and those of us who want parts in a building game can have all the parts. It's I think it's just an excuse they come up with to kind of it's a blow off mechanic essentially, so they can blow that idea off because they just don't want to do it. And I wish they'd just be honest and be like, oh, that's not something we want to add. Kind of take responsibility for it.
Right, and that, Captain. That is a big thing that they don't do, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, anything that people ask for, if they would just come out and say, we hear you. We hear what you're asking for, and the truth is our game can't handle it right now, and we're not going to make changes to do that. Fine. Yeah. I can get that. But the constant, well, it's not really for our game, it's a block game, that doesn't work. Just tell us.
Yeah, they can also one of my favorite developers for Escape from Tarkov, Nikita, the lead developer. He does something that a lot of these developers are scared of. Is he says no, and he says it's my game, this is my dream. I'm going to build it the way I'm going to build it. I'm not adding that, and it's refreshing because it might bum you out that you're not going to get your feature, but he's being honest with you. He's telling you exactly what's going to happen. And so, if somebody says in Tarkov, oh, you should put in a mini map, he says no, you're not getting a mini map. Period. And so he's setting expectations, and I wish the devs would just be like, listen, we're not changing water physics, period. It's going to break everybody's things on the workshop. It's going to annoy everybody that this thing that used to work, we built a universe. This is not Earth. This is our own world. And yeah, water physics is different. Get used to it. Build your creations, to live in our world. That's what's going to happen. I wish they would take that attitude is, be clear with us and be straight. Don't kind of, dart around the edges. It annoys people.
Yeah, I agree. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
All
Because
right.
it's like in Kerbal, you're not on Earth, you're on Kerbin, and so the gravity is less than on Earth. So you can build creations you'd never be able to make on Earth. And so I think if they just said, listen, the Stormworks world is not Earth. The water physics is different here. Get used to it, I think that would be better than, just be straight with us.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I agree. Dude, I wonder if they watch these podcasts. I hope they do. At least skim through them.
Yeah.
Because I think there are some good
The
thoughts.
intern might.
What?
Said the intern might.
Do they have an intern?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
We need to find the intern.
We need to find the intern. So anyways, stuff like that that we're talking about here. It just... if you're going to do a Friday update, last week's Friday update was frustrating. It was a fluff piece that was thrown at the end of the day, and they're just like, oh, we need to put something up, write a bunch of nothing. Don't do that. Say, we don't have any information, we'll have it next week. Boom, I'm good with that, We're thinking about doing a major update. We don't have any information for you. Just hold on. Whatever. We are working on an update. Here is a teaser. It has something to do with dogs and cats living together. Great. That gives me something.
Yeah.
It would be nice because this community developer relationship feels like overly professional.
It does. Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite developers is Mad Mole from
Which one's that?
From 7 Days to Die. And he plays his game. And like, you don't need to play your game necessarily, because I'd actually rather them working on the game than playing it. But like Mad Mole, you can tell he plays his game, because like he'll go on and he'll do a live stream every say month, and he has a base that he built. You can tell he plays his game, and like he sits and he just chats with people in chat, and he seems very approachable. And like I was saying, on them just being clear and not being afraid to say no, is like I kind of have this with my community, is if somebody's like, oh, you should add this to build, I'll be like, no, that's not realistic. I like my stuff to be realistic. No. And so that's refreshing, and I think people like that. When you say, oh, maybe, and you have no intention of doing it, it annoys people. And the devs have a really bad problem with this. They need to come out and just say like, no, that it's our game. We're not adding that. That's not the direction we want to go. And it would annoy some people, but it would set clear expectations, so you can take that hype you built up in your head and just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or all that wondering that you do. Are they going to? Are they?
Exactly.
Maybe? Are they? Yeah, that stuff too.
And it was like when they said Space DLC is not coming. That was refreshing. Because people were like, oh, Space DLC. And they said no. And that's refreshing. And they said maybe in a new game. And that's refreshing, is to tell us, okay, well, now I don't have to expend my mental energy on that hope and dream, because that's a dead dream. Nothing is worse than false hope, and they keep giving false hope instead of setting real expectations and diverting the hype into the things they're doing. They could advertise the things they're actually doing by saying, no, we're not doing space, but guess what? I think you're going to like these new update patches. We're coming forward with a lot of parts are coming in the near future. If they said that, people get so excited for parts.
Ouch.
And then all of these weekly updates, people would be excited for.
Yes. You said it, man. You're preaching the gospel! And I'm going to be flooded in a second.
Oh, I'm in the drink. Uh-oh. I'm in the drink.
We're flooding.
What's this?
Oh, wait. Are you in the other ship?
Why am I getting crunchies?
I'm getting into the water here. So, SPC, you came late, I'm guessing. So, we can do a quick recap on today's update. So, we got the I can't say that damn word. Desalinator. Is that how does you say it? Desalinator?
Yes.
Yeah.
Desalination.
Yeah, and so it works really slow. You need a lot of them. Apparently, gravity works better than pumps for whatever reason. And the idea behind them is to give you fresh water, possibly for your steam engines. I don't know. That was Rowan's suggestion. And then the other thing is that there is a feature that is or is not functioning right now. I don't even know if it's functioning. But salt water used to like muck up your engines if you used it long enough. But you really have to use your engines for a long time for it to show. So this is kind of like a counter that you put on your boat or whatever to give yourself fresh water so your engines don't get messed up. But we don't know if this is like something that is being set up for some future update that we might actually need these components. But for right now, it's a minor update that we have that you may never
What did I just hit?
use. Are we frozen? Yeah. Are we frozen? No.
I think we died on the ship.
The tsunami's coming slow, so it's just slowing.
Okay, Blue.
Down low.
We'll see you a bit.
I have blown up somebody's entire ship. I don't know what it is that I hit.
is dead.
Dunzo.
Yeah.
How are you not dead?
Underdog
I don't know.
Gaming
I've been
says
everything.
They don't have a clear vision for their game. Hence, there practically is no game loop to speak of.
He is littered with damage, though.
So.
Oh my god! Yeah, you're on fire.
He's on fire.
No, I'm not on fire. That's the firebox.
Wait, how are you not?
Oh, I don't
they may have a.
Yeah. They don't have that, do they? They don't have like I mean, they're gonna say add it with an add-on. Water stations for train tracks. What do they call them? Where you fill up.
Oh yeah, for like steam trains, like where the water towers.
Yeah.
We already got the water tower. It'd be an easy little fix.
Right.
But I'm sure there's an add-on for that.
There's an add-on for that.
Everything that you add with an add-on is going to make the game lag.
Well, I turn everything off. Every time we do this, I turn everything off. There's nothing on.
Me too.
It's just not worth it. Like, like what's up with the? Why were with the new arid desert? some of the buildings or something are like add-ons. Is that like?
Yeah, I think like the antenna, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah. You can get rid of the wires and stuff because the antenna moves and rotates.
Yeah, like what was the purpose of that? I don't understand.
Looks.
Oh God!
Look at that. I think,
that one gave us a boost. We got a little boost
I think
off
we
of that
might be getting to the end of the stream because the destruction is starting to pick up here.
Yeah. Just got,
they don't know what to do with themselves, so they're starting to destroy themselves.
We're surfing.
Okay. Yeah, so...
Modern waves don't work in multiplayer.
If you just joined us, you might want to go back and rewatch this. There's a lot of ideas. Captain was speaking some truth here at the end. You might want to go back and watch that. And if you have time, you might want to share some of the comments that are made here with the devs. Maybe that would help. I don't go into the official Discord anymore. I think it's more like just talking to people that are talking to people without talking to devs. But maybe they do listen. I don't know. So anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We got to 1 hour and 12 minutes. We usually do 2 hours. But this minor update was kind of minor, I guess.
I'm sure we'll see some, maybe in the next week, somebody's going to come up with something that uses this. It's pretty useful.
something really huge and complicated that gives you a cup of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and go through the list here. We got Captain Crockles. I'm sorry, I just killed your name. Captain Cockerels. Go ahead and tell us what you're doing on your channel this week, and what to expect.
So this week is mostly career build series. I made an Acrano plan. I can go get diesel with it, and I can do some rescue missions with that. That was almost 10 hours, I think, making that. Going to be trying to get more into some career build play and get out of the building, seeing I've been doing so much building, but that's pretty much what we have going for this week.
All right, and you have a very... How long has your career builder series been going on now? What episode are you on?
I'm over 200 at the moment.
Over 200. So if you're not watching him, you should go over and check out his channel and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified when he uploads. And watch his series and give him some feedback. Let him know you're watching because it helps a lot. It helps with your mental state to know that you guys are enjoying the content. So let people know if you enjoy the content. Next up, we have, of course, Klara. And hello. Klara is the resident render artist for a lot of different building groups. What have you been working on, Klara? Any renders or anything?
No, I mean, I've been enjoying not doing my time in Stormworks and spending my time suffering in other ways.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a positive, negative thing. I like that. Next up, we have ProfNCognito. What are you doing on your channel this week that we need to look forward to? And maybe what have you been doing?
We just got done with the VTOL that I was showing off a little earlier. So we'll be using that some more. Hopefully building some more vehicles to go along with our little road train that I built a few episodes as well.
The green one?
The green one.
The green VTOL that you showed? Was it the colorful one?
The blue and orange one that I was flying around earlier. That's the one that's from the career series.
Oh, very cool. I like that.
So we'll be messing with that one. And I don't know, playing with stuff at the workshop. I've been doing that every week. And then, of course, talking about these updates and announcements about updates.
Yeah. All right. So again, Captain and Professor are in the description. God, I can't speak. Are in the description below. Go to their channels. Subscribe. Let them know you're there. Say hi. All that good stuff. Oh, by the way, did you guys notice that James is back?
Yes.
Yeah, James, our
resident knowledge. He's full of knowledge.
The most positive commenter you can have on your YouTube channel. James.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's been around a lot.
Scalzo. I think his name's Scalzo or something.
James Scalzo, I think.
Scalzo. Yeah. So James, if you're watching, we missed you. I'm glad you're back. Next up, we have Rowan. Rowan, go ahead and talk about your battle tomorrow, real quick.
Tomorrow in SMH, we've got the Entente facing off against the Central Power by air. There's going to be an air battle, and then we have one where Entente planes will be attacking Central Power's shipping.
And this is World War I, right?
Yep, World War I.
And you're going for realism, right? You're kind of very role play, right?
Yeah, very, very much just doing the role playing stuff. So it started from an ocean liner building community. So that can tell you the kind of role-playing these guys like.
Okay, and you can, of course, find them at the SMH.
SMH.
S&M what?
Stormworks Maritime Hub. I got the name. I just didn't know the letters. Discord. I think they might be low in the might be in the description below, but I'm not positive. And now, last but not least, Storm Trail. You should have changed your name to something like with a beginning of the alphabet.
Yeah.
But
hey, I just put a Storm Trail.
So I'm guessing Storm Trail is going to be doing something this week with modded waves. But Storm Trail, what have you been working on, and what's up?
Been uploading a whole lot more videos, and I just want to thank everyone. We just hit 1,000 watch hours in the last 28 days. Not even that.
Nice.
I mean, we are going up pretty quickly. We're a lot closer to the 4,000 watch hours, 3,212 already.
Nice.
Up from 2,500.
Again, if you want to help Storm, go and mute his videos and let him play, and that will give him a boost.
Yeah, we're trying to get him.
It definitely would.
Yeah, get him in that 4,000 watch hours so he can buy a coffee someday as well, like me.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, we go to the coffee shop all together. Everybody, coffee shop, coffee on me.
I can make you some coffee.
Woo!
I'll ship it to you. It'll be cold by the time it gets there.
No problem. We got a microwave.
It'll be cold.
All right. Well, that is it for the day. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy these episodes. I get some of the coolest people on here. This week we just had the core group, but sometimes we do have other visitors that come on. Tony from the NSO. We get a few builders on here. And yeah, so if you ever want to be on the show, just reach out in the Discord and let us know what you want to show off or talk about, and you're welcome to join us. But today was a quick episode with a minor update, and I think that is it for today. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to everybody, and everybody's going to say goodbye. So say goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you next time.